the CPA and all that. But my younger kids are still growing. And so I've had the chance to be with them, take them to school in the mornings, to go through the little special things at school. You know, I haven't had to worry about none of that stuff. So we had to make some adjustments, of course. You know, so we made some adjustments. We sold some of our properties. You know, we did all that stuff to make adjustments. Rebuilt a new house that was more functional for us. So we built a 7-bedroom house because we looked at it and said, look, we got all these big old giant houses, but they're really not what we really, really require. You know, most of them are like 5 bedrooms or something, even though they're huge, they're like 5 bedrooms. So we said, let's build a smaller house that we don't need that much space per se, but we want 7 bedrooms.
Wait, a smaller house with 7 bedrooms?
Yeah. I mean, compared to the other houses we had, though.
Oh, that's
you know,
rich. We call that rich people talk on here, Jerry. You just said you said normally it was a 5-bedroom. You know, those are large, but we wanted to get something a little bit smaller, 7 bedrooms.
Yeah, because I mean, we build. I mean, it's still big compared to, I guess, other people or whatever. But sitting on the golf course and all that stuff. But so it's a nice situation, but it gives us an opportunity to kind of like, relax a bit more, do these things that I'm doing, and not having to be so pressured about money or anything like that because, it's a relatively easy lifestyle type situation for us.
Okay. How do you deal with haters?
Well, I mean, haters, like you've heard the expression, haters are going to hate. I mean, that's pretty much what they do. So I don't really pay too much attention to haters, to be honest with you. I let them do their thing and get whatever joy that they think that they're getting from that. And I just kind of worry about what I can worry about, which is doing my thing. So I can't really determine what they do. They got their, as long as
do you still have any naysayers at this point? Like people who you may be working on a project and somebody says, you say, we're going to do this, and somebody is like, no, I don't think you're going to do. Do you still have naysayers at this point?
I mean, not really. I mean, because from that perspective, it's like, if there's a project that I want to work on and I want to get done, then I know I'm going to get it done. I mean, that's just something I'm going to do. So I'm not really concerned with someone else saying, hey, you can't do that. Well, because I'm used to that my whole life. Most people have been saying I can't do a lot of stuff that I've done. So, I mean, and that goes back to that internal communication. My internal communication is strong enough for me to understand why they have their weak thinking, right? So their weak thinking around that is just based on whatever that they have allowed to go into their consciousness over all these years, allowed them to not believe certain things are possible, whereas I believe certain things are possible, and they're not only possible, but they're probable if I put a plan of action together, and I have accountability systems set up, and I have a team surrounding me that's going to allow me to, get these projects completed. So, yeah, I mean, if you're just blowing air in the wind by saying things, but you never do them, then yeah, probably you're going to attract more naysayers because they're not going to believe it's possible because they're looking at everything else you've done that you said you were going to do that you never did. But for me, most of the things that I've done and that I've told people I've actually done. So it decreases their ability to say, oh, well, you're not going to do this other thing because it's like you said these other things you said you were going to do that I didn't think you were going to do, but you still did them. So it's a little bit different. So, yeah, I don't have too many that are at least on my radar. There may be people secretly saying stuff I couldn't do or whatever. I don't know. So.
Okay.
So I guess I gotta go jump in my jacuzzi and think about that one.
All right. So you're well involved. I mean, you've made countless amount of money also in the network marketing industry. What fascinates you about, like, what are we, let's say somebody's listening to this episode right now and they've been on the fence about the concept of network marketing. The obvious is that, yes, there's some bad businesses out there that are not good network marketing business, but there's also some great ones. What would you say is what are we missing? What do people miss or need to know about the industry of network marketing that fascinated you to the point where you accumulated millions of dollars because of it?
Yeah. So, with network marketing, the way I look at it is that, and I think the way that a lot of people deserve to look at it, and I don't think they're probably looking at it this way though, is that it's a business just like anything else. And so a lot of people, I think they think it's like some kind of a game, some Ponzi scheme, some joke or something like that. And if that's the way you're looking at it, you're going to kind of come to the table that way. And so until you get educated on what it really is and what's possible, and until you start meeting people that have produced results and really have created lifestyles that you would never dream that could really have been created, utilizing this vehicle of network marketing, then you're probably going to continue to be around people who either engaged in the industry and they haven't achieved success. So that's all you see. That's all the proof you see. And so if that's all you see, then you think that, oh, well, maybe it doesn't work because you're always, running around or being associated with people who haven't made it work, without allowing yourself to be in a position to be around the people that have made it work. And sometimes that can mean getting involved in an opportunity yourself, meeting some of those successful people that are in the line of sponsorship, going to some of the events where you get to meet even more people who have made it work. And so if all you're doing is being surrounded by people who tell you why it can't work and why it's not going to work, then yeah, you're probably going to feel that way, and you're probably going to show up that way if you ever do join one. So that's probably one of the things. Another thing is that, you have to be like an independent type person to really make this work for you. It's not, if your whole method of generating money comes from the ability to have someone else tell you what to do all the time, and then you're probably going to be better off in a job, right? Because, a job, they're going to be structured for you, and, show up at this time, eat your lunch at this time, get off at this time, take your vacations at this time, blah, 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 blah. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there are people who do that joyfully over a period of 30, 40 years. There are people who do it not so joyfully, but they still do it because they got family to support. That's understandable. It's okay. But if you have a situation where you have thought about your life a little bit and you decide to design your lifestyle and live into that lifestyle instead of just taking whatever lifestyle that can show up based on the amount of money that someone's going to pay you for a job, then that's going to take you being a little bit more conscious of the vehicle that you're going to use to generate the money necessary to create that lifestyle. So let's say, for example, if you have a lifestyle, let's just say similar to mine, where you want to, work 4 days a week, 4 hours a day, and then want to have all the other time to do whatever you want. If you want to work more, great, you can work more. There's maybe some days that I might work an extra hour or two if I really wanted to, but I don't really have to if I don't want. So if you want that, great. So my lifestyle is I want to be able to wake up whenever I have my eyes open, whenever my eyes tell me I was done sleeping. And then I wanted to be able to, go wherever I wanted to go. Like if I want to, go to a movie or something, like if I got obligations, like take my kids to school and stuff, that's great. Make sure I'm able to do that. Or, have my wife do that, or have, when our kids were really, really small, we had live-in nannies that lived in with us and stuff. And, we paid them well, and they took care of, they helped my wife take care of the kids and stuff like that. So I wanted to be in a position where I'm able to pretty much call my own shots. It's like if I want to go to Australia, yep, okay, just find out when I want to go, pick the date, and just take off, right? Go to Australia if I want to go to Europe, if I want to go to Africa, if I want to go to Asia, if I want to go wherever. I wanted to be able to just do those types of things. And in my mind, I didn't have to do it in like a private jet or anything else, but I wanted to at least be in first class and wanted to travel well and have a bed on the plane and stuff like that. So I had my idea of what I wanted to create and what I wanted to be able to do. And so with that in mind, I had to look at, what vehicle is going to give me an opportunity to do that. And it was a high likelihood that a job wasn't going to do it. Now, I think I could have made a reasonable amount of money at a job, but I think most jobs expect you to be there like 40 hours a week or something, and that wasn't going to fit in my 16-hour deal. I couldn't fit 40 hours into 16 hours. It wasn't going to work. So I knew I had to figure out, are there other vehicles out there that can allow you to set up this type of lifestyle? And one of the vehicles that I discovered that could allow you to do that was network marketing. That was one of the vehicles. I mean, there's there's probably other vehicles, but that was a vehicle to me that utilized a concept called leverage, where you get to leverage other people's efforts and their skills and their abilities and stuff. And so once I found that out, then I had to look at, this is a great vehicle that can allow people to get from wherever their current reality to their preferred reality. And in my case, my preferred reality was pretty much kind of having a lifestyle like I got now. It was pretty much my preferred reality. So what do I have to do to master this particular, arena here? So if I want to really master and get really good at this, so I can really set myself up to be able to create this lifestyle, what is going to be important? That's when I realized how important mindset was, how important it is to understand people, how important it is to understand the specifics of network marketing, since that was the industry that I really wanted to engage in. So how important it is to understand all the different concepts that we do. We reach out, we contact people, we have to, we do presentations, we do follow-ups, we answer questions and objections to different things there. And we go to trainings, we train our people, we get them started. We do all these types of things. And so my question was, is it worth learning to get good at this versus focusing on a 9 to 5 and basically really just staying there and get good at that? And I think it's possible to do both. So if a person is just getting started in network marketing, for example, they can keep their job still until they get good enough to where they can replace their income with their job. I don't never suggest people just quit their job and get started in network marketing. That's probably one of the biggest mistakes people can make. But if people want to get good at it, then definitely, choose to understand that it is a business. So once I understood, too, this is a business. This is not some joke. This is serious. And this really can allow you to get where you want to go. And once I realized all that, then I just put my all into it, decided to really learn it, decided to really get good at it. And that's what really assisted me over the years. And then once I realized other people wanted to learn what I knew, that's when I started developing courses and started assisting other people and being able to utilize some of the same concepts I utilize to assist me.
Okay, I want to switch gears one last time, but before I do that, because you keep speaking about this 16 hours a week, and I'm pretty sure people are like, how is he doing all that in just 16 hours, so little time? And to even validate what you're saying, I mean, for years you've been preaching the same exact message. I don't know when you started doing this, but I'll never forget that you said, if you're doing this business full time, if you're in this industry and you're doing it full time, you're doing something wrong. How do you still stand on that? Or is that something that you just say in passing, or are you dead serious about that? Like you work this thing full time. Or can you expound on that? Because I've heard you say it before.
I think, as far as network marketing is concerned, I mean, the business is pretty straightforward. Now, this doesn't mean that a person should work less than 15 hours a week or 16 hours a week to pull it off. No, that's my deal later in life, right? I mean, that's not something I was doing while I was actually in the thick of building my network marketing business. When I was in the thick of building my network marketing business, I was definitely working more than 16 hours a week for sure. I was really putting in some serious time, some serious hours, and full time, I guess it would be called. But the point that I'm really getting at is that a person who thinks that they got to work 40 hours a week to build this business, they are drastically mistaken. You don't really have to do that. Like, that's one of the excuses people have when they have jobs. That's why they want to quit their job so quickly. I say, look, you can keep your job while you're building this business, and you can build this business with 15, 20 hours a week. I mean, in a really big business with 15 to 20 hours a week. It doesn't take you 40 hours a week to really do this thing. And if you're thinking that it takes 40 hours a week, then you're probably doing something wrong, to be honest with you. There's not a whole bunch that really you can do other than, work on getting more prospects or waste time, not really using leverage to train your people and all kinds of other stuff that you can do wrong for sure, to put in more time if you just for time's sake. But really, you can really do that. That's the beautiful part about leverage. Leverage means that you got other things that is taking up the slack. So it's not taking you as much effort. The key is learning how to use it properly. And I think that's where people go wrong. So initially, if you're out there and you're really, working it, understand you can start part-time, 7, 10 hours a week, 10 to 15 to 20 hours a week, whatever you want